The All Sports Media Wednesday Sports Talk Show, hosted by Edward Hall and co-hosted by me, Mark Gregory, is live and right at Chins. And well, Edward's doing the whole Sharon and Karen thing. I don't know how long it'll take him. Update we've got on the baseball and softball tournaments right now going on, and in the baseball region 13th region championship. Last score we've got was Corbin was up on Whitley 4-0 going into the bottom of the fifth inning. So it's looking good for Corbin right now. Just let's just see if they can hold it on, and whoever's going to come out of that game is going to be going to be sponsoring the 13th region. Really good up there in the state tournament, but it looks like they got a tough first round matchup. Whoever comes out of that game, I believe PRP won their region championship game. So whoever wins between Corbin and Whitley will be looking at PRP in the first round. And anybody that knows about baseball knows PRP is not an easy matchup for even the Cincinnati Reds. So yeah, that's going to be a tall task. And then the softball side of things, last score we got, I don't know exactly what inning it was, but I believe we've got um, North Laurel up on Pineville 4-1. I'm sure that's getting later in the game. Pineville, the small school, holding their own against the much bigger school, North Laurel, and in all honesty, most people had North Laurel picked to win this region. But the region has flexed their muscle. Corbin played them tough. Pineville's playing them tough, and that game ain't over yet. So but a lot of close games in the region, both baseball and softball. But believe Edward, are you with us now?
Yep. So we're going to do a quick thank you to our sponsors, Mark.
The team at the Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media wants to take the time to thank our sponsors, Bryant Family Medicine and Heather Martinez Realtor. We also want to thank our support staff, Valerie Rutherford, Allison Messer, Larry Spicer, Addison Sloan, John North, Shane Shackford, and last but not least, Keisha Ambergy. With the support of our fine sponsors, our dedicated staff, and you, the members, we are all working on one goal, the promotion of student athletes. With this team, we can't miss.
Hi, I'm Heather Martinez, active community member and your realtor. Give me a call or text 606 344 0217, or you can reach me by email heather.martinezrealtor@gmail.com.
The Heather Martinez commercial just blows their commercial away. I say it every week. Heather, we need help putting together a commercial. Yours looks all professional. You got the music, you got the words on the bottom. They ain't nothing professional about our commercial other than I hit my shot. Edward knocked some person out walking up and under to go. I don't know who he was throwing that ball at. And Rod didn't even get across the half court line. So, again, I hit my shot. They missed theirs. End of discussion.
That's his story. I wasn't out there to see it.
Trust me.
But on tonight's show, Macy had to reschedule till next week, but Zoe will be coming on, so we are going to be starting out a little bit different tonight. And since we was talking a little bit about baseball and how you got Corbin and Whitley colliding, I think it's only right that we start out with the top 5 must see in baseball, Mark.
Mhm.
So your Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media top 5 must see. You have Cole McLean from Taylor County with a .14 ERA. And you got Cameron Mays from Paris. And yes, you're looking at that right. This is baseball. He is 64 for 65 on stolen bases, which is number 1 in the state at the time. And you have Connor Napier from Knott County Central with 47 RBIs. You got E.J. Allen from Whitley County with a .66 ERA. Then you got Joseph Brigman from Bell County with a .64 ERA.
I've seen a couple of these teams, especially Whitley and Bell, and just again, I'd have to look at the state rankings, team rankings. I know Whitley, for most part, had been one of the top teams in the state in ERA, and of course EJ was a big reason why, and that ERA right there proves it. Also, you cannot take away from what Bell County and has did, and Joseph was a big reason why. And but the 64 stolen bases is crazy. I would just like to, honestly, I would just like to just see the catcher who actually throws him out. I mean, if you're 64 stolen bases out of 65 attempts, I'd like to see the catcher who actually threw him out.
You and me both, because being that perfect throughout the season on stolen bases, and we are talking about stealing a base. That's a pretty huge feat. And then again, talking about Cole McLean, from Taylor County. Looks like his ERA just keeps dropping each week, and he's out there pitching some major innings and everything too. And then I can't remember exactly what place Connor Napier was, but I know I'm pretty sure he is in the top 5 in the state on RBIs. So 47 RBIs in a single season. I don't even know if I could have got that in a career.
Quick update on the Corbin Whitley game. Whitley had runners at first and second. Corbin turned a double play. Going on to the 6th inning, folks. Corbin's right now they're in cruise control. It's their game to win.
Yes, it is. And now, moving on to the softball side of things. Your Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media Top 5 must see. You got Macy Spivey from Rock Castle with 24 RBIs and 5 home runs. You got Cheyenne Ross from Harrison County with, and then you got Aubrey Miller from Male with 36 RBIs, 4 home runs. Layla Ogden with 74 RBIs, and yes, I said that, Mark, 74 RBIs and 24 home runs, and Hannah Carter from Meade County with 34 RBIs and 8 home runs.
Statewide, it's hard not to look at South Warren not being a favorite statewide. Like maybe North Laurel is their regional favorite. But and that's a big reason why. And I know that you had Macy lined up on the show tonight. And I guess she's got tournament action herself, her team, and but good luck to her personally and her team. And it's just that time of year. Some of these teams might not even be left standing now. Some of these must see. But again, this ain't our top 5 players. This is just must see players. These are players that you need to get out and watch. And again, some of the like Bell County ain't in a tournament in baseball. We still have their one of their best pitchers up. It ain't about last team standing with us. It's still what they did during the course of the season.
Correct. And we've got to see Cheyenne Ross firsthand go up against a Louisville male which is playing in I think it's the 7th region championship against Assumption tonight. And, for her to have right at 200 strikes and basically knocking on the door of 40 RBIs, in which there still was, she's probably more than that. There was 2 games of stats that was not filled in yet. So She's probably over the 200 and probably over the 40. But also talking about Aubrey from Louisville Male, we watched her firsthand, put up 6 RBIs in a single game. And, Layla, we watched her at the state tournament last year. And if I'm not mistaken, I'd have to double check when I looked at it yesterday, but the 24 home runs, I am pretty sure that's still got her first or second in the state. And 74 RBIs I'm still about positive that's got her first in the state also. So, being able to lead in 2 categories, that means you're putting in some work, Mark.
Absolutely. And I'm going to piggyback on what you just said about Aubrey. And we've both seen Mel firsthand. And can you imagine wherever that game's at, the atmosphere between that Assumption and Louisville Mel game? Bottom line, South Warren might have something to say about it. Of course, Davies County, Henderson County, even North Laurel, if they make it possible, whoever comes out of the 13th region. But what I'm saying is, it's. Can you imagine that atmosphere at that game? Because whoever comes out of that Mel Assumption, they're, across statewide, a lot of people that does what we do are going to say, well, they're going to be top 1, 2, 3, or 4 left in the state, and that just, I can just imagine the pressure, the atmosphere of that game there tonight.
Absolutely. Speaking of that game, I'm actually looking at it. The score is still all knotted up at 0-0. If I ain't mistaken, I believe that tournament is actually held at Louisville Male. So, but the atmosphere. I got to cover a few 13th region baseball tournament games, which is hosted at Bell County. And you talking about atmosphere, that place was packed. The first night I got up there, if I didn't think I was gonna have nowhere to park, you showed up like it was like you thought it was a football game. Everybody was parking on the side of the hill, going over to the middle school parking. And luckily enough, I got somebody that was just dropping somebody off and pulled out, so I got kind of a close parking spot. But that's the way it'd been every night.
Bell always brings it. I don't care, even if their team is playing, the fans are still going to come out and watch. There's a lot of people in the Bell County area, Powell, Millsboro, they just love sports. It's not. Of course, they love their Bobcats. They love their Lions. They love their Yellow Jacket. Yes, of course that. But they just love sports. And a lot of them are just fans of the game. They're just up there watching it. Even, and like you said, probably even without Bell playing, they're probably packing the house up there.
Well, it looks like we just got updated. It's 5-0 Corbin, top of the 6th.
Yeah, it's definitely Corbin's game to win because I don't even know who's pitching for Corbin right now. I've not looked at it in detail yet. But I know you've got Cade Elam in the wings. I even heard that maybe he might not even be starting tonight. So if you're a Corbin Shoes right now, you're feeling pretty good about the game.
So I'm actually trying to look up and see who is pitching. So it looks like you've got Tarvin pitching for Corbin right now.
And and Elam's having a super game. I think he opened the game up with a homer, first pitch of the game, and now he just missed another homer by inches. He just folks, there's a reason why he's committed to Louisville. I mean, let's be honest. There's a reason why he's committed there. big guys come in big situations, and when most needed, he stood up. And hats off to. I mean, the game ain't over yet, but you're probably feeling pretty good if you're Corbin.
Yeah, and talking about feeling good. Last time I checked, I haven't checked here recently, but score 1-4. If you're North Laurel, last time I checked, it was going into the bottom of the sixth, so you have to feel pretty comfortable there to yourself
But
because you've held a solid Pineville team to only one run as of right now. But again, if you're
by Reiner updating machine, the score is 6-1 now North Laurel, and Corbin has the bases loaded with no outs. So it looks like Corbin is on the doorstep of blowing that game wide open.
Yeah, but you still have to be pretty comfortable if you're Pineville, being down just only 5 runs against a highly ranked and a very highly talented North Laurel team. That coming off state runner up from last season. You still have to feel a lot of confidence if you're Pineville right now.
Yes, and um, love what Coach Daniels doing down there, and we knew this was going to happen, and no disrespect to any previous coaching staffs, people love Robbie D. Let's be honest, people love him, and we love him here, and and kids are going to want to play for him, and again, regardless of what happens with this game tonight, no, Bible's still going to be returning Rachel and a pretty solid nucleus of young kids coming up. It's just not, and I'm not going to say it on the show. There's at least one transfer, and a possibility of several others too, but that's on down the road. We ain't going to let that cat out of the bag too. So it's definitely not a one hit wonder for Pineville. We're not giving up on Pineville. Comebacks can be made. It just, again, if you're looking at it from our perspective, it looks pretty good right now for the North Laurel and Corbin.
Well, you talking about comebacks, we seen one good comeback at the state tournament last year, and
Yeah. Maybe one of the wildest games I ever witnessed in my life, and you have a much better memory than me, but you need to. I think it was like back-to-back games. Because I think there was one game that we thought that North had it in the bag, and then before you know it, it was tied up, and it looked like that they was fixing to lose. And then I think there's one we thought that they were going to lose, and then it was really wasn't it like back-to-back games?
it was. And but talking about some very talented athletes, you ready to bring on our guest, Mark?
I'm absolutely, and got another score update, 7-0, Corbin, and it looks like they're fixing to put that game away.
Hello.
Well, hello. First off, appreciate you for taking the time to come on and listen to me and Mark ramble on for a few minutes.
Thanks for having me.
So before I turn you over to Mark, I just got to get your thoughts on how your senior season went this year.
Coming off a season that wasn't so great last year, I think the girls realized that they had 6 seniors that were leaving, and we had to step it up this year. And I think that's really what they did, and I couldn't be more proud of them. They left it all out on the field, and that's all I could ask for.
Absolutely. But Mark?
Zoe, I just got to thank you for your time. Is school officially over now? I mean, school out at Knoxville?
We just got out yesterday.
So have you already did the walking of the line and all that stuff and received um unsports related? My son graduated this year, so I'm still a little bit emotional about
Yeah.
that. I've graduated 3 sons. Um, Non-sports related question: getting your diploma, how was that moment for you?
Well, it happens on June 1st, but I think it's going to be exciting, nerve-wracking, but I'm ready. I love Knox Central, but I think it's time to go on.
So, as far as any commitments, have you made a commitment yet to any school?
Yeah, I'm going to UK,
Mm, mm.
but no
Uh,
sports.
just is it something you just ready to give up on, or something you might be tempted to get back into?
I don't know. I haven't really thought much about it. I know when I went on a tour there, they asked if I was wanting to play sports, but I said no. So I don't know.
So there's a possibility it might kick back in.
Maybe, possibly.
So what's the plans? What's the major that you're planning on going into?
Nursing. I'm going to do 4 years in nursing at UK and then go to nurse practitioner school.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, just a thought. Once you get out of school, you get this job and start making all this money. You got the, us poor guys, we need grass to mow. Well, I can run a good lawnmower. Edward's good at weed eating, so just remember.
I'll keep it in mind.
Uh, Zoe, you were speaking some about your season, and just you personally, being a senior, what did you get out of this year?
A lot. It was crazy. There's definitely some ups and downs, but I was just really like pride, just showing that a lot of people thought we're just going to be the same as last year, and I think we proved a lot of people wrong this year, and I think they got some big things in store next year for them.
So all the underclassmen that's coming up and under you, are they any I'm not gonna say words of wisdom, that sounds a little bit out there, but are they what can you tell them? I mean, what do they need to do to reach their goals, to reach their ultimate goal?
They need to stick with it. I know a lot of girls, whenever we're graduating, they get down. They're like, well, I don't know if I want to play, but I can just tell them to stick with it, practice, don't complain, do it when you're hurt, do it when you're tired. Just do it because you'll never get it back, and it'll be something you regret if you don't do it with all your effort.
Um, I could keep talking to you all night. You're a wonderful person, and heard nothing but good from you.
Thank you.
Edward's been wanting to get you on for a while. Just it's a very very short season. You wink your eyes and the season's over. But we've been definitely wanting to get you on. So uh, luckily we got you on, at least before it was too late. But
Yeah. Thanks for
uh,
having me.
but Edward,
So I'm actually looking at, your schedule and everything right now. So I gotta ask you. It looks like you pitched, you
Oh God,
bat, you play defense. So which one do you prefer the most?
defense. I like playing defense. I'd play it if someone would hit for me all the time.
So you like defense over than the crack of the bat on the
Yeah,
softball.
yeah, for sure.
So I do got to ask you. I know I come up there when you all played Harlan County. The game was regularly scheduled to be at Knox Central, but rain
Yeah.
kind of pushed it to Harlan County, and then we got hit with like a major downpour. So how does that play a factor in like your game out there?
We got there early. We didn't know there was a game before. It was a middle school game, and the rain was just pouring on us, and everybody was tired. But seniors, we had to step up and tell them it's it's just mental. You're not actually tired. We had to wait a long time, and I had to explain to my fellow outfielders that the grass is going to be wet, so the ball is going to roll more, and then there's going to be holes that's going to stop. You just have to read it.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that like a very late game? Like, didn't it start like close to like 8:30, 9 o'clock or something like that?
Yeah, it did.
So, has that been like one of the latest games that you got started in, or have you had like a game that started later?
I think that was one of the latest. We went to Myrtle Beach this year. We had a few later games, but I think that was probably the latest start game we've had.
So, you talking about Myrtle Beach? I'm going to roughly guess that's the Ripken experience, right?
Yeah.
So that was actually going to be one of my questions. So it looked like while you was up there, you played teams out of South Carolina. It looks like Ohio. It looks like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You know, playing teams from all across the country. How do they differ?
You know, before we went to the beach, we were playing teams that were like kind of on our level or like a little bit below or something like that. When you go to the beach, you have no idea who you're facing. You know nothing about them. So like you just go out there and you just play, and I think that's what helps our team the most. Another thing we do is like we always say the score 0-0. Doesn't matter about the score until the end of the game. So it keeps all the girls from like stressing out, and they just focus on playing and having fun.
So, got to ask you again, since you was at Myrtle Beach, did they just keep it strictly softball only, or did they let you enjoy it a little bit while you was up there?
They let us enjoy it while we were up there.
But, out of your time up there at Myrtle Beach, what would you say was your most favorite experience part while you was up there?
Probably we played a really good team, and it got a little rough towards the end, a little frisky. It was kind of crazy, but I say that was probably my favorite game up there. And then the seniors, we always jump in the ocean our last game there. So that was probably one of my favorite memories up there.
So did you do like a head dive?
Yeah. Yeah, we dove in head first.
Well, see, if Mark would have done that, he would have made a big splash, but I don't think he would have dove in.
Knowing my luck, I'd have jumped in and then Jaws would have come after me or something like that.
We had some face plants, but it was okay.
Yeah. But you didn't see Jaws, did you?
No, we didn't. Seen
Okay.
some jellyfish. That's about it.
So what would you have did if you did see Jaws coming after you?
I'd probably pass out. I don't like sharks.
Well, I like them as long as they're like behind all these like aquarium glasses and stuff. I like them there. If I have to actually see one, hopefully I can move a little bit.
They still spook me behind the glass because I think they're going to hit the glass and bust through it and then just jump on me or something.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But this being your senior season, what kind of approach did you take different this year?
Like I said before, how we tell the young girls to do it tired. I took that into accountability my senior year because sometimes you go into practice, you're like, man, it's not my day. But as a senior, you can't afford to not have those have bad days. You have to keep moving and keep going because it doesn't stop for you. It's not going to stop for anybody else. So you just got to keep pushing forward. And, last one, supposed to be your best one. Go out, have fun, go out with a bang. That's what we tried to do.
So I do got to ask you, has this year been more crazier with the weather than normal, or is it just me?
Yeah. No, it's been crazy. I think we've canceled 17, 18 games due to weather. We couldn't get them in. Turn around, it's a thunderstorm, and then it's snow and hail and raining again. Just can never get them in.
See, I was beginning to think it was just me, but it seemed like every day that there was some type of rain or something going on.
Yeah, it was bad.
So how hard is it to play in the mud playing a softball game?
It's pretty hard. I mean, I don't really have much to do with the mud where I play outfield, but running and stuff, you kind of get stuck. Whenever you dive, helmets get stuck in the mud. You can't really move.
Does it make it more funner when you're having to slide to the base though when it's muddy?
Sometimes. It depends on how muddy it is. Sometimes you just stick. Other times it's pretty fun.
Well, it wouldn't matter if it was raining or not. If I try to slide, I'm gonna stick regardless. So I mean, I'm stuck either way.
I've done it multiple times. It doesn't feel good.
But Mark,
Um, back to talking about Kentucky. I gotta ask you this. Are you a Kentucky basketball fan?
I am.
I guess you heard the breaking news a couple hours ago there. So how you feel about that?
I'm excited. I'm glad he's coming back. With Travis Perry leaving, him coming back, I think we'll be just fine. We're getting a bunch of transfers. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Well, I know that they're everyday students, like you're going to be an everyday student. But if I was a student, if I've seen one of them, I mean, are you going to be that type that's just going to like?
Probably. I'll probably ask him to take a
well,
picture.
he does that now, a little less being just a student. So
Yeah, I do actually do that now. Um, um, but talking about your graduation too, I gotta ask you this, and I've seen this the last few years because, like I said, my son graduated this year, my daughter-in-law last year, and what gets me is like everybody puts all this stuff on top of their caps. Are you gonna be one that does that?
Mine's getting decorated right now.
So why are you putting on top of your cap, or you don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, or is that like a secret
I'm
thing?
doing a little Bible verse on it.
Okay, okay.
It's a Bible
So
verse and some flowers.
so
are
are
you going to attach
after
a string to it when you throw it up? That way you can know which one's yours.
I'm just going to let it go.
you're still gonna throw it after you put all that work in it, like it might mess it up or whatever?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw it up in the air. Hopefully somebody will give it back if they find it.
Well, I give you a word of advice. Somebody I know really, really well on their graduation instead of throwing the hat up, they tried to throw it like a frisbee. Yeah, don't throw it like a frisbee because it might go in the stands and might actually hit somebody right between the eyes.
Probably.
But
uh,
just the inside scoop, that was him that done that.
yeah, that was one day I thought I was whooped. That guy was pretty mad, and I never got my hat back either.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
he kept it and like literally destroyed it.
Oh.
Yeah, he was pretty mad. But yeah, um, talking about I don't want to get. I'm emotional. I'm a crier. I cry all the time. But you know, when you saw the softball season winding down a little bit, was they ever a part of the season that maybe you got a little just knowing that it was getting close to the end of the high school career?
Yeah. I mean, those bus rides, we only had so many games because weather canceled most of them. But our last couple bus rides were a little emotional. You'll never be on that bus again with those people again, going to play that team. And we just tried our best to win every game. And it is emotional. I was emotional our last game against Harlan City. I think all of our team was. Yeah. It's just rough being a senior, but it has to happen.
Well, I won't ask you no more sad questions because I'll start tearing up too. But talking about the weather and are you more of a turf person, or do you like the good old fashioned natural grass?
I like the good old-fashioned grass. turf during the summer, it's real hot. It blinds me sometimes. At the beach especially, hits that turf and just shoots up at you. But I like the grass.
Okay, so before I let you go, then I'll let Edward finish up with you. I'm gonna have to hit you with the hard hitting questions. I can't. I think that you're mature enough and you can handle them. So are you ready for this hard hitting segment?
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, you and just only you and your teammates only, not coaches, parents, or anything.
Okay.
Okay. They're in a van, a 15 passenger van. I know, like here at Whitley County, we got the little 15 passenger jobs, but they're in the 15 passenger van. The van tears up. It's pouring the rain. Who's going to get out there and fix it?
Probably me. I feel like I'm the mom. I'm the mom of the group, so it's probably me. I'd say Jamie Swafford and Hannah Melton get out there and help me a little bit.
So you think one of them like at least hold the umbrella for you and keep you from getting soaked? Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Edward wouldn't fix our vehicle at all. He would just make me get out there in the pouring rain, and then he would gripe at me that it was taking me too long to fix it. That's how Edward grows. Okay, so then you get out there, you fix the van, you come back in, you're soaking wet. You're going down the road, the van runs out of gas, and you go to a gas station. Who's paying for it?
Probably Hannah. She's got the most money on that card.
Well, Edward's got the most money between us, but he don't ever pay for the gas. He always makes me and Ryan pay for it, and then about 5 minutes later, he stops at McDonald's and goes and buys about 4 hash browns and puts it on the sausage biscuit.
Well, he's failing to forget to tell you that I have to buy the tires because they don't help me with that.
That's his story. Okay, and then part 3, the last one but not least one. You did pretty good. You held up pretty good. So I gotta admit, you have it cracked. So you just get home or at one of your players' houses, and you just want to do some Netflix and chill. There's no orders, no ordering out. But who's gonna actually fix dinner that night? No DoorDash, no ordering pizza.
Probably.
The phone lines are down.
Probably Jamie. She cooks for us while we're at the beach. I think me and her could do it.
So what would you and Jamie fix for that night?
They might get some macaroni and cheese. That's all we know how to make.
Can't go wrong with mac and cheese. But that's a pretty popular opinion, whenever we ask others to, it's all the mac and cheese. That must be a new generation thing. Give me the mac and cheese.
It's the easiest to make.
So you've been great. You've been awesome. We've been wanting you on here for a while. Like I said, it's just a crazy year. This year flies by, and wish we could have got you on a whole lot more earlier. Had a lot of good people talking good about you, and wish, like I said, wish we could have got you on a whole lot more quicker. But
Thank you.
So we got like a little. I ain't got Ryan's graphic, but I'm gonna ask you your vote on our restaurant championship game. It's Texas Roadhouse versus Crackle Barrel. So which one of them 2 restaurants do you prefer?
Probably Cracker Barrel. I'm taking it over Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
I just like Texas Roadhouse roll. That's about it.
Cracker Barrel, you get breakfast at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You go in there and say, give me some biscuits, some gravy, all the fixing, a couple scrambled eggs, some hash brown casserole.
Yeah, I'm a breakfast person.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
And Ryan, if you're listening, you better put that vote in. You better put that vote in. Or Zoe will come back and get you, Ryan.
Yeah. Voting Cracker Barrel all the way.
Got a couple final questions for you. One of them is actually a food-related question. So in the Knox County area, what's your favorite place to eat at?
Probably our Two Amigos. It's one of our only sit-down restaurants we have. So it's
Well,
pretty
well,
good.
welcome to the Berg. That's how we feel. We got like Huddle House here, so we got some Mexicans. That's about it.
It's pretty good.
Well, I would like to say that's all we got in Middlesboro, but apparently we're getting overran with restaurants anymore.
I seen that.
But
That's all right.
But this might have been a little bit before your time, Zoya, and I believe you like Mexican. You just said you did.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I did read somewhere. Hopefully, it ain't fake news, but Somerset was actually in the process of building a Chi-Chi's, and I don't know if you have ever heard of that restaurant.
I
It was
haven't.
it was big back in the 80s. Really, really big. One of the best Mexican restaurants I ever ate in my life. First fried ice cream I ever ate in my life.
Those are
But
the
yeah,
best.
yeah. You need to go check it out.
I will have to make a trip.
So, final two questions I got for you. Through your time playing softball, what would you consider your favorite all-time memory?
Oh gosh, I have a bunch. This year was probably when my friend Annie K slid into home to beat Pineville 4-3 in the 7th inning. And then I robbed a home run at Lynn Camp my junior year. And I felt like I was on cloud 9.
So when you robbed the home run, did you like go like that? Did you go like? I mean, was they some kind of celebration afterwards, or a
I
cartwheel or something?
screamed. I screamed really loud, and Jamie ran out to me, and we ran to the dugout screaming. It was exciting.
So no flexing and pointing and all
No,
that good
I
stuff.
I held the ball up when I caught it. No one thought I caught it, and I threw it up. That's about all I did.
So I do know there's another sport that you play.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, being a multi-sport athlete, how do they help you get ready for one sport to go into another?
Basketball we start real early. It's a longer season than softball for sure. And Steve, our coach, he's honest about our conditioning, I will say. So we're starting that pretty early. And then as soon as that gets done, me and Hannah go straight to softball. And I feel like our conditioning carries over to softball, us running bases, us being able to get to balls. Like Hannah has to get up really fast and run to a fly ball from the catcher spot. I have to be able to run in the outfield to catch balls. So I think conditioning is a really big aspect of our softball and basketball colliding.
So was basketball and softball the only two sports that you played?
Yes.
All right. So final question I got for you. This season alone, which game was it that you could not wait to play?
Pineville, for sure, at home. We were ready. I think my team was prepared. They were all excited. It was a game that the environment you had to be there, and it was like top notch.
Well, I've actually been to a few Pineville Knox Central softball games, and the environment is top notch. Everybody gets pretty rowdy, and that's what I like. I'm not a big fan of going to a game and everybody just kind of being quiet. I like hearing the screaming, the yelling. I like that. That gets me into the game a little bit more myself.
Yeah, me too.
So being an athlete, how does that help you out there on the field?
I feel like I just have these moments that I want to win. I've always been a winner. Coming as an athlete, that's my biggest thing. I want to win. I want to do this. and I want to be there. And I feel like that helps me in basketball and softball because I don't like to lose. I don't like what comes with the losing. And it makes me get more engaged into the game and makes me be a winner. I just love it.
Absolutely. Well, Zoe, I personally want to thank you for taking your time coming on. And, if the season was just a little bit longer, I believe it'd be great. We tried to get you on. We wanted to get you on so much earlier, but by the time we blinked, I didn't realize the softball season, baseball season was already over.
I know. It's like only 2 months compared to basketball. It's like crazy.
It just seems like about time it starts, you're already in district play about a day or two later is what it feels like to me anyhow. So, again, I have a photographer that's getting ready to be sending me over a few pictures. And when she gets them to me, I'm going to be putting a few graphics together for you, and I'll send them to you, and I'll also post them on every one of our social media pages.
Okay,
That
thank
is kind
you.
of my way of saying thank you for coming on.
Thank you all for having me.
Thank you,
Zoe,
Mark. You got anything else?
Before we let you go, you've got great spirit. You've got great vocabulary, much better than me. I've got like this slang. I've got Southern hillbilly. That's about the only two languages I know. You got a really good voice, charisma, and stuff like that. Well, while I'm trying to bribe you, once you're done with your Kentucky years and your nursing year, you got a job with us. You got the mojo there. You'd be really, really good at this. You're a cool customer, and I don't say that to many. You're a cool customer at this.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Maybe a podcast for you here one of these years.
Maybe.
Now, listen, I got all kinds of ideals already.
I've got ideals too.
Names.
The Zoe Power Hour.
I like it.
Zoe talking Kentucky sports.
That'd be fun. Be awesome.
Or just Zoe Sports 101.
Yeah, Zoe Sports 101. Or Zoe at the 606. Or Zoe, or there's all kinds of doomers. Like,
I like it.
we can hook you up. Just the offers there. Just saying.
All right, I'll remember that.
Absolutely. But Zoe, I do want to thank you again. From everything everything I got to see you play in, you killed it. Your team always killed it and performed. Your fans always show up and show out. So that's what I love about Knox Central. And again, I want to thank you personally for taking the time to come on and listen to me and Mark ramble on a little bit.
Thanks for having me.
I still like the Zoe Power Hour.
Keep it in mind.
Absolutely. But thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great
interview.
Yes, that's really good. I mean, updates we're getting. Ryan's burning us up. I'm sure you're getting the same text messages, but North won their game 6-1 against Pineville. And 7-2, Whitley and Corbin. I think Whitley's coming up to bat. They need to get 5 runs if they're going to get, which is probably a hard uphill climb. But we've seen weirder things happen. But congratulations to North Laurel and congratulations to Pineville. And they proved that that they can play the big school ball too if they have to. And nothing to hang their heads about at all. What a great season, and they'll be back.
Absolutely. So, all good things must eventually come to an end, Mark. And, state's right around the corner, so I'm going to let you give your final thoughts there.
Well, Lord willing, and it's always about Lord willing, and it's always a blessing to live. It's a blessing to live from day to day. Life is nothing but a blessing. And My plan is to hopefully, and your plan is too, Ryan's. We're gonna go up there. We're gonna do our best about giving you the best coverage possible. And there's a thing called we all got jobs and stuff like that. So we all three can't be up there at the same time, which would make the process much more easier. But we're going to try to at least have somebody up there each and every game. So we're going to give you the best coverage as we possibly can. Um, just again, we're not like the Kellogg's cornflakes. We're more like the Great Value cornflakes. We put you together a pretty good bowl of cereal, but it might not be the best, but it ain't the worst either. But we'll do our very best for you. And again, we're very thankful for our sponsors for giving us the opportunity to be able to go out and do that, give that kind of coverage. And we also very thankful to our viewers and the members on their pages that have been so wonderful to us. And that's what it's all about. We got the easy stuff.
Absolutely. But, I do plan on trying to be up there a couple days at the state tournament. And, I've still got probably about 500 more photos still to upload from the baseball region tournament that I was just at. But, I really ain't got much plans because, sports is basically winding down for a few months. But, when one door closes, another one always opens, like you said. But I'm gonna leave you with this. Championship games are getting played now and played tomorrow and start playing again next week. Show up and support your team that makes it. Show up and support your region that makes it. They'd love to see, regardless where they're playing at, who they're playing against, they'd love to see the stadiums packed. I say it every show, every week. Please go out there and support your local student athletes and your local team. But from everybody here at the Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media, I want to tell you good night and God bless.
And Zoe, if you're listening to Zoe Powell.